Ωραία, λοιπόν. Hello everyone. I'm here to talk to you about the very famous painter Oscar Claude Monet. So, let's get started.
2, 1, πάμε.
Claude Monet was a Frenchman. So, he was born in France on the 14th of November in 1840 and he died the 5th of December in 1976. He was the founder of French Impressionist painting and he was the most consistent and prolific practitioner of the movement's philosophy expressing one's perceptions before nature. Especially that specific thing was applied to plein air landscape painting. You're gonna see it somewhere in your screen right now. So the term Impressionism is derived from the word and it was one of his painting's title, Impression. That's the solution, which was exhibited in 1874. This way. So, Monet's ambition of documenting the French countryside led him to adopt a method of painting the same scene many times in order to capture the changing of the light and the passing of the season. That's why we notice that we have many of his paintings of still life that they are the same exact things, but the only thing that changed is the light. So Monet painted outdoors to convey the fleeting effects of atmosphere, time of the day, as I mentioned before, and season upon color and light. He represented natural color like a prism, breaking it down into its individual components. He often painted a series of the exact same view under different light and water conditions. So now, let's see some of the still life paintings. Some of them are the tulips on an 1885, the vase of flowers, 1878, the peach glass, 1866, and many more. You're gonna see.
Gonna spend it like no other. Now I found another crush. A lush life giving me rush. Had one chance to make me blush. Second time is one to let. Now I found another crush. A lush life giving me rush. Had one chance to make me blush. Second time is one to let.
So, we're gonna explore together now the top 10 best ever paintings of Claude Monet.
Πώς?
Number 10. Sorry for my friends. But I don't even know what I'm saying. La Granulaire was a popular middle-class boating and bathing resort of those times. Monet wrote on September 25, on 1869, I do have a dream of painting the baths of La Granulaire, for which I have made some bad sketches, but it is only a dream. The painting below and one in the London National Gallery are probably one of the sketches, with the original tableau having been lost. Renoir, who was very close to Monet at the time, also wanted to do this painting. Number 9. Woman with a Parasol. One of his earlier works, this painting, depicts his first wife Camille Dunzoux with their elder son Jean. Camille is holding a parasol on a light umbrella, and it seems that she is catching a glimpse of someone looking at her. The painting is early evidence of Monet focusing more on light and color as opposed to line and shape. Number 8. Camille or the woman with the green dress? This is the painting that first brought recognition to Monet. It fetched Monet 800 francs, a great amount of a struggling artist at that time. It features his first wife Camille Dunzoux in a green dress. Camille features in several other paintings by her husband, including A Woman in the Garden and On the Bank of the Seine Benecourt. The painting is from the early period of Monet's career, when he painted in realist street style as opposed to impressionist. Number 7. San Giorgio Maggiore at dusk. Monet didn't intend to paint when he visited Venice in 1908, as it had already been depicted by numerous artists. However, during his visit, he was entranced by the sight in the city, and he called for his painting material. He began in a series of preliminary works which he completed much later when he returned home. Among these was this painting, which is also referred to as Venice at Dusk, and which became one of his most popular paintings. It is noted for thin, light brush strokes and masterful depiction of light and the movement of water. Number 6. Popular series. This famous series consists of 24 paintings of the magnificent trees along the banks of the Ebt River, a few kilometers upstream from Monet's house. A floating painting studio was moored in place, and he reached there by a small boat. However, before he could finish, the town wanted to auction and sell the trees, so in order to continue, Monet bought the trees and then sold them after he finished the painting. There were three types of groups for the paintings. First group was three poplars with an S curve in the back. Second group was a lot of poplars with an S curve. Third group were poplars with their reflections. A crucial element of the paintings was the S curve that was outlined by the top of the trees. Although it made critics term the painting to decorative initially, as time passed, the S-curve became a highlight and selling point for the paintings. Number 5. Houses of Parliament series. During his days in London on this time period, Monet painted this series whose subject is the Palace of Westminster, home of the British Parliament. All the 19 paintings of the series are of the same size and depict the same scene from the same viewpoint, but they showcase varied weather circumstances and varied times of the day. One of the paintings of the series fetched more than $20 million in an auction in 2004. Number 4. Haystack series. Among Monet's most notable works, the Haystack series primarily refers to 25 canvases that he painted in the above-mentioned period, from 1890 to 1891. The subjects of the paintings are haystacks in the fields near Monet's home in Giverny, France, which he noted during a casual walk along the countryside. The series is famous for repeating the same scene to showcase differences in perception of light across various times of the day, seasons, and types of the weather. These paintings made Monet the first painter to paint so many illustrations of the same subject matter. Number 3, Ruined Cathedral series.
This famous series captures the facade of ruined cathedral in France at different times of the day and year, showcasing its changes with varying light conditions. While studying these paintings, it is noted that Monet broke painting tradition and cropped the subject so that only a portion of the facade is seen on the canvas. Painting the series was a difficult task for Monet. He wrote, "Things do not advance very steadily, primarily because each day I discover something I hadn't seen the day before. In the end, I'm trying to do the impossible." He was, however, helped by his ability to capture the essence of the scene quickly and finish it later from memory.
Number 2, Impression and also Sunrise, the famous one.
This painting is famous for giving a name to the Impressionist movement and has now become a quintessential symbol of Impressionism. It was not well taken by the critics, and the term Impressionist was coined in a satirical review by Ursula Roy, in which he went to the extent of saying, "Wallpaper in its embryonic state is more finished than that seascape." The Impressionist movement, however, soon became so popular that it spread to music and literature as well. The subject of the painting is the harbor of Le Havre in France. It is noted for very loose brushstrokes that suggest rather than define it. Monet used color as the main factor to capture the very essence of the scene. An interesting thing about this painting is that if you can make a black and white copy of it when the sun disappears almost entirely.
And number 1. Guess what? The time has come. Water lilies.
Monet's series of the Nymphaeas have been described as the Sistine Chapel of Impressionism. The series consists of approximately 250 oil paintings which were painted by Monet during the last 30 years of his life. They are now on display in museums all around the world. One of the paintings of the series was sold for 18 million at an auction in 2008. The dazzling complexity of color and light in the Nymphaea's panels opens the viewer's eyes to the incredible diversity of nature and to the depth of mystery of the life it sustains. An amazing thing about these works is that Monet's eyesight was badly deteriorating due to cataract while he painted most of these masterpieces. Giovanna Bertazzoni, Christie's auction house director and head of Impressionist and modern art, said Claude Monet's water lily painting are amongst the most recognized and celebrated works of the 20th century and were hugely influential to many of the following generations of artists.
Thank you very much for watching this video and me trying to show that I know foreign languages even though I don't. Sorry for the ones that know very good French and I don't. And that's all for me.